Jennifer's listening while grocery shopping. That's impressive. She's shopping for groceries and live streaming.
I was trying to introduce the podcast.
Welcome to the most anticipated podcast of the week, everybody.
Welcome to You People Are Insane.
It's the most anticipated because it's the opposite of the one we normally do.
The one we're normally on together called the least anticipated podcast of the week.
This is the intro to my apprenticeship.
Okay, if that's what you want to call it.
That's what I'm calling it.
We're just mixing it up a little. We're making some changes to the lineup.
Yeah.
You People Are Insane is going to be a monthly show now.
Yep.
And we're going to switch up the hosts every goddamn time.
I've been on this show for 8 seconds and already it's been demoted to monthly.
Yeah. That's
not going well.
That was a snap decision I made just now.
Oh, man.
Time to call it quits.
All right.
So how have you been, Chet?
I'm doing all right. I don't know. I'm anxious as fuck. I feel like if I answer that honestly, I'll be a bit of a bummer. I'm doing fine, Adam. I'm doing great. Doing okay.
Save it for what's your problem.
Too much. Yeah, we'll record that later this week. I'm excited to be here recording on a Sunday. That's different for me. Getting to help people with their problems instead of focusing on my own. That'll be a nice little mental escape for me.
Right.
I got a croissant downstairs, keeping that crate place open.
Keeping them in business.
Yeah, we had some nice small talk outside. We both shit on the security guard here at the building.
What a fucking asshole she is.
Yeah. Man.
Son of a bitch.
Whatever.
I got a package delivered this morning, and I walked up to the desk. She was sitting down. She paused for about 44 seconds, and then finally looked up and went, "Can I help you?" No. Fuck you.
I wanted to enter your parking garage, and there wasn't a parking attendant there. Instead, the security guard just standing there being annoyed that I wanted someone to let me into the garage. Like, I had magical powers to lift the gate.
Yeah. How dare you, Chet?
How dare me?
How dare you? Anyway, fuck those motherfuckers.
Fuck them.
Are you excited?
Right in their fuck holes, whichever hole you prefer.
All right, let's get into our first voicemail. Let's see. I think we got a call from a real asshole on this first one.
Hey, Chet Wild here, longtime co-host, second-time caller. I tweeted that I'm subbing for Jeff. You People Are Insane. Told people to call the line, to which Jeff replied, Raquel is also a host, you ignorant fool.
Did you know that, you sexist son of a bitch?
And I was under the impression that I'd be subbing for Jeff only, and I would have the pleasure of co-hosting a podcast with Raquel for the first time. So this is a problem, and I would like Adam and the one fill-in co-host to figure out a way to resolve that. So Chet and Raquel can finally co-host a pod together. Thanks for listening. Keep up the great work, guys.
Before we get
Excellent.
into it, one of my favorite things is how these voicemails get translated. And I don't even remember what sentence, but it got translated into Cocina and Pacquiao.
That sounds about right.
Capitalized. Yeah. Anyway, what were you going to say, you misogynist son of a bitch? Did you forget
makes some good points.
Raquel normally does this podcast also?
No, I didn't forget.
Yeah, okay.
Let's go through a couple bullet points here.
Sure, we're listening.
ATB, not wearing the captain's hat today, said, "Hey, Admiral, would you like to fill in for Jeff?" Fill in for Jeff. And I don't know if that got cut out of least anticipated when we talked about this, but you definitely asked if I wanted to fill in for Jeff. And then we went into a part where I talked about I would have loved to podcast with Raquel. I've never podcasted with Raquel. This will be a great opportunity. I'm aware that Raquel co-hosts the show. When you asked me to fill in for Jeff, I view Jeff and Raquel as two separate entities. I figure they both, although cohabitate, still have their own independent lives.
Sure.
And that it wasn't an implication that by filling in for Jeff that Raquel would not be here. I did not mean to disrespect her.
Of course.
And I'm actually a little bit offended that Jeff just assumes that if he's not someplace, that means Raquel isn't there either.
All right.
Anyways.
I buy your excuse.
Yeah.
That was fun.
You said you're mixing things up, so we should have me and Raquel host something sometime.
I will. We're going to at some point do a whole week where we swap hosts on shows. I wanted to do it this week, but because Jeff's gone, but the way
Jeff and Raquel, apparently.
Well, no, they'll both be on the Monday show.
Okay.
But yeah, to have them do both of these shows this week, we would have finished recording at about 10 or 11, and then I would have to edit both of them tonight.
Is Raquel actually gone with Jeff, or does she just not want to co-host this with me?
I don't think she's at Comic-Con, but I don't know.
She could be here right now.
Raquel works a lot. Maybe she's enjoying a Sunday morning off, Chet.
I would view getting the opportunity to co-host a podcast with me like a vacation.
Hey, I do too. But we can't,
Happy vacation, Adam.
we can't force our feelings on other people. What do we got next? Is this an actual... Oh, hey, it's Andrew Hillary. We know that guy.
The writer of the Fastball Chets theme song.
Exactly. Let's hear what the fuck he's got to say, shall we? Oh, okay. Yes. Is that a yes?
I was waiting for it. I thought you were going to hit play. I was waiting patiently.
Oh, that was fun. Here we go.
Hey.
Hey, Chetting.
Chet and Adam, this is Andrew Hillary. I was just calling in. I have a question that I maybe want to pose to Chet. It's maybe something that he might not tell me to just fucking do it.
Fucking do it.
Get some advice from certain other hosts who I love, but
I think he sent an apology about how bad this voicemail was and sent another.
Get down to it too quick sometimes. And, well, this is a little more nuanced. So, Chet, my question to you is, how do you finish things? I happen to work on a lot of different projects, whether it's comedy or music, and I always start strong, and I never fucking finish. So, do you have any advice on how I would get to the end? Thanks, and enjoy the rest of the show.
Rest in peace, Chester Bennington.
There couldn't be...
He said the end. Go on.
There couldn't be a worse question. There could be a worse question.
Yeah, he's asking you how to follow through on
I'm the
projects?
least qualified. I genuinely have an email from Fastball's manager being like, where's that thing from 3 weeks ago you promised you'd have me?
I feel like I should have fielded this question, but go on. I want to hear your answer.
I have the same problem, but I can give insight into why I have that problem. For me, certainly there's part of it that is fear of failure. And there's also a lot of imposter syndrome where anytime I have a good opportunity for something, I feel like I'm a fraud and I got it on accident and I'm not qualified and that it's complete bullshit. Now, sometimes maybe that there's legitimacy to that, but
like when you got picked to host this. Just joking. We love you, Chet.
But I mean, Adam, you know a little more about my day job where like I, have a pretty prominent role high up in a company and it's nothing that I don't know. I'm like, how the fuck did this happen?
Right.
You just have to do it. There's
just
not
do it.
Good. Yeah, Nike.
Bo knows.
Man, I'm bombing on this.
Got to
podcast.
be the shoes.
That's a tough. You finish a lot of things.
I finish a whole lot of things.
And how do you do it?
I mean, you just have to view it as you don't have a choice. Like, if you want to, it took a whole lot of fucking work to set up this network and get the Kickstarter going. Like, I do, like, with stuff like that, I do all the writing for it. I wrote the Kickstarter video, and it took me months to finally build up the fucking will to take that project on. But you just have to, if it's something you love, like I don't want to work a day job. I want to do shit like this for a living forever. And that's hard work, and it doesn't happen by magic. And there really is no good answer. You just have to do it.
I think, and we talk about this on What's Your Problem? Like, I have a lot of anxiety.
Right.
Now, do you have much anxiety? And if so, how much of it do you cope with via, alcohol or drugs? And I'm not saying that in like a bad abusive way, but that is...
It depends on what areas of life you're talking about in terms of anxiety. I do have anxiety issues in general, and I have for a long time. I used to take Valium for it, but you can't take Valium every day. You'll be addicted to Valium. I just researched and ordered, I was trying to pick it up this morning, actually, a supplement called GABA, which you take at night. And
just call it GABA.
Yeah, exactly. It's supposed to help you sleep, but also helps you focus and relieves tension and stress throughout the next day. But Yeah. I mean, in terms of though, like my work, I don't have much anxiety. I'm very confident in my work. Like I don't put stuff out too often and wonder if people are gonna like it or worry that they won't. And if people don't, like I mean, I've written columns that bombed, and we've had episodes of the podcast that aren't great, but I do a lot of fucking podcasts, man. I've written a lot of fucking columns. They're not all gonna be perfect.
There's a book, I haven't completely finished it, that I would recommend too, though, that a listener actually recommended, called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. And I'm about halfway through, and that's been helping me lately, just kind of let go of shit. So I will recommend that book. Shout out to the listener that recommended that.
Oh, this must be Andrew Hillary's second voice.
Yeah, like I said, he sent an apology.
Sorry, shouldn't have botched that first one, pal. We're not listening to 2 in a row.
I didn't think it was that bad.
No, it's fine. I don't know what the issue was. That was a good question. But let's get to our next VM, shall we?
Sure.
It's short for voicemail. Here we go.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
It's Cat Guy again.
Cat guy?
Got
Oh,
another
Kitty.
question for
It
you.
says Kathy in the...
Yeah.
If you have to fight either a cereal mascot or a fast food mascot to the death, who would you pick to fight the most, and who would you least want to fight? Also, I got a puppy, so give a shout out for Mortimer, because he's a very good boy.
Shout out
Mortimer,
to
you're
Mortimer.
a good boy.
Good puppy.
Mortimer, show me that belly. Come get scratches. You're a good puppy. If I had to fight one to the death, probably the Lucky Charms guy, because I feel like he's a negative portrayal of Irish people.
Fucking Irish people.
No, not because he's Irish. I feel like the stereotypes he represents.
Also, he misleads us. He thinks there's gold at the end of the rainbow. We know all that's bullshit.
That's all lies. The bear from Sugar Crisp, because he was always stoned. So I'd fuck him up. I just wouldn't smoke for the first few hours that day.
Does
And I'd be
Oriole
alert?
Does Oriole have a mascot? Because I'd beat the shit out of whatever that fucking thing is.
No, there were several super duper racist jokes I could have made there, but no, they don't have.
Fuck Oreos.
They don't have.
Fuck them.
They don't have an actual mascot.
They just came out
that
with
you
a
can
coconut
fight.
Oreo. It's the worst.
But have you had lemon Oreos?
Fuck all Oreos. It's the most disgusting food
Not
there
if you,
is.
not if you dunk them.
No, even then.
You dunk them in milk, they get soft.
I've made this point before. If you need milk to be good, you're not good.
I dunk all my cookies in milk. It's the most divisive episode we've ever done. Fighting so hard. Speaking of fighting, what cereal mascot do you want to fight? Tony the Tiger? Because
he
Tony
seems a little
Scalzo is the first name of the lead singer of Fastball.
Tony the Tiger. Quit with the fastball talk, Adam. Let's stay
Good
on
point. I should mention, though, I friended Amber Scalzo on
Tony's
Facebook
niece.
over the weekend. Me and Tony's niece are tight. Where you at, Chet?
We could have her on the podcast.
You're lagging behind.
Make it part of some of the stuff we're filming for it. Also, you guys told that one guy to move to Austin for 15 minutes on last week's show.
Yeah.
You didn't even once mention that's home of Fastball. Huge endorsement there.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I'd move there.
Yeah, move there for that, too. All right, what mascot do you want to fight so we can move
Tony the
on?
Tiger is a little too positive.
He's also a fucking tiger.
Yeah. Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Frosted Flakes. Quit trying to
Frosted
sugar
Flakes are
up
great, though. They're
Sugar up my relatively healthy cereal option.
a bowl of
Toucan
corn
Sam's
is not.
annoying as shit. Punch that fucker right in the
Yeah,
nose.
Toucan Sam's a real
And
piece of
Fruit
shit.
Loops are the most misleading of all the cereals. No fruit.
No fruit.
No fruit at all.
None.
No. And they taste shitty, and their biggest gimmick is they make, again, reliant on milk. Oh, it makes your milk change colors.
So you want to fuck up Toucan Sam?
Yeah.
All right.
I wouldn't want to fuck up the Honey Nut Cheerios bee because he's the one that makes the Cheerios honey-like, so.
That's a great point. And he's also, he's an advocate for heart health. Can't go wrong there.
Maybe punch that kid Mikey. It's always like
Oh, but go back in time when he's still a kid
Yeah.
and punch him then. Yeah.
All right.
Ask him if he likes fastball, and if he says no,
Boom.
fucking punch
He
him.
likes it. By the way, I think that person that left that voicemail started a Twitter live stream and tagged us of like his puppy. He was live streaming his puppy
Oh, good puppy.
Friday or something.
That's Uncle Puppy.
All right, on to the next voicemail.
Here we go. And some of these questions might actually be for Jeff and Raquel. I have no idea
Well,
because we haven't screened any of
Raquel
these.
could have been
Hey,
here.
I'm Pops. This is Tom from Philly calling.
Hey, Tom.
I was watching So I Married an Axe Murderer a little bit ago.
Good
And I
choice.
was actually a little surprised how well it held up, which made me think, what movies have you guys seen recently that held up as well as you thought originally thought they were? Thanks for taking my call. And Chet, why do you have a problem with the trans community?
God damn it! What the fuck? Fuck, I don't know which bit I hate more. Chet's Chet's
Slow
racist
clap for Tom.
or Chet's transphobic. I don't know.
You don't know which
Which
one
one?
is more
No, which one?
Oh,
which
sure, go on.
bit that you guys do? Because newer listeners, they're like, oh, this guy's racist and transphobic. They don't know the storied history of this commitment to such a absurd, hurtful thing to say.
Okay. So are there any...
I mean, obviously, Gone Fishing holds up great. You still need to see Hook. That holds up great.
Oh, does it?
You know what I saw that isn't that old? But I saw it for the first time this weekend. The Brad Pitt, Steve Carell, Wall Street film.
Oh, The Big Short?
Yeah.
Yeah, The Big Short's fantastic.
Yeah, and that's only a handful of years old.
Well, speaking of that, have you ever seen The Beaver?
No.
It came out right at the height of everyone hating Mel Gibson for being an anti-Semite. So nobody fucking watched it. When you watch the beginning, Jodie Foster produced it, and the production company that funded it is based in Abu Dhabi. It's like she had to go way the fuck out to get someone to fund a Mel Gibson movie back in, I think it was 2000. Like 6 or 7? Or no. It was like 2011 or 12. It was early part of this decade. And Mel Gibson plays this guy who's clinically depressed. And he, at one point, finds a beaver puppet, like a hand puppet. And this puppet basically turns into his, not really therapist, but like his representative for the outside world. And it like completely turns him around, makes him a better dude. But he also, every time he talks to people, talks through this puppet that he calls the Beaver. And it's a super weird premise. It doesn't sound great on paper, but it is a fantastic fucking movie. I actually just watched it again last night. What I watched that didn't hold up that well, Hellraiser. Boy, is that a goofy fucking movie. Just not scary at all.
I posted a clip of Naked Gun 33 in a third movie. That movie holds up. Like, movies like that wouldn't get made anymore, but those are still funny.
Can't go wrong with OJ.
That's how it all came up. But,
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. I started watching Larry Crown last night. Never saw that. Halfway through that. Tom Hanks, Julia Roberts.
I don't think I've ever seen that. Yeah. Yeah, who knows?
I'm trying to watch more movies. But yeah,
Me too.
Those are our answers.
Those are our answers. Let's get to the next voicemail. We are powering
We got a lot of
through.
voicemails.
We sure do.
Hey guys,
Hey.
Drew from over in New Jersey.
Hey,
Quick
Drew.
question for you.
Okay.
Which do you think is better? The entire discography of Poison the Band or Poison by Belle Biv DeVoe? Love the show, guys. Have a great week.
Belle Biv DeVoe all day.
Why is that even a question?
Yeah. And don't even get me started on the Belle Biv DeVoe catalog. But yes, just the song Poison is better than the entirety of everything Poison's ever done, with the exception of the time Bret Michaels got knocked unconscious on stage at the Tonys. Best Poison performance I've ever seen. But beyond that, yeah, all day, Belle Biv DeVoe.
Really want to take off his bandana.
Did you see, after that happened, there was a shot of him in the hospital, and he was like unconscious or something, in a coma, but he still had his fucking bandana on.
I wonder if it's glued on.
It might, yeah, it probably
part
is.
of a headpiece.
Like, just shave your head, dude.
Yeah. Quit trying to Hulk Hogan it.
Wear a beanie all the
Own
time.
it. Just over the fold. And then hair coming.
Do
like
that.
it.
All right. That was a good question.
Yeah.
Let's move on. We're powering through. Here we go.
Hey, what's up, Chet?
Hey.
It's everyone's favorite friend, Big Meek. I got a question for you today.
Pause it.
What
Pause
is
it.
your, like...
I know, it says big meat. It says that every
Big
time.
Meat. Hang on. I need to get in an emotional state. Prepared to handle Big Meek here.
Okay, do you want me to rewind it? Here we go. You ready?
Right, yeah.
It's only 20 seconds.
Hey, what's up, Chet? It's everyone's favorite friend, Big Meek. I got a question for you today. What is your, why do you think causes people to dislike you? I'm really curious to hear what you think about it. Yeah. Bye.
Do people really dislike you? What does that mean?
I think there's a handful of people that go out of their way to dislike me, and they think they can hit my buttons. And I've learned to not necessarily engage with them. Like, there was one person that really hammered me on Twitter 3 or 4 times this weekend because I wasn't replying to them about, why is Jeff not hosting the show? Let me know when he's back. I put together his Twitter handle with the comments. I'm like, oh, that's the same guy that gives me shit about Mouthbase, which is why I do Mouthbase now.
Right.
All the time.
Which, by the way, if we don't reply to your messages anywhere, not just on Twitter, anywhere, here on the voicemail show, fucking relax. We are all very busy. We don't, with the exception of Jeff, none of us are constantly on Twitter and Facebook. So it's hard to sometimes reply or stop in the middle of, maybe we see your message, but we're doing something. Fucking chill.
That applies 80% to Adam, 20% to me. I do try to stay on top of everything, but I have less. You have so much going on. I don't know how the fuck you.
Right, but it's not just me and you. Like Caitlin, everyone has all of their own things going on
even
outside
for just
of
1
this.
to 2 shows on this network. It's a lot, but it's good. Keep messaging us.
Yeah, I mean, it's great. It's great. Just don't give a shit if we can't reply right away, for fuck's sake.
Back to Big Meek's question. Let me answer that at face value. If I were to have to speculate why certain people, what is it about me that people dislike on this network? One, I would say if you're very much a fan of certain hosts, like say Jeff, then naturally you're not going to like me. You're just sit back. Well, Jeff and I have our battles or whatever. If you're very pro cat and I'm like, fuck cats, I'm going to put a plastic owl in my backyard, of course you're not going to like me. If you're tired of hearing fastball talk, well, then okay, fucking tough shit. Yeah. Tied specifically to least anticipated, I don't watch most of the shows that we talk about, which could be frustrating if you want actual insight. But I offer an outsider's perspective rather than blowing every show for how great it is. Do I want to watch Game of Thrones? No. I want to reply to most of your tweets, so you're fucking gonna piss people off regardless. But specific to you, Big Meat, it's probably because I call you BM and you hate that, but your name's Big Meek and BM is short for that. I don't know. Adam, anything to add?
I think you're great.
Thanks.
I don't hate you.
All right.
I think at this point, people complaining about and this happens with everything, but people complaining about fastball at Chets cannot possibly be any more or less tiring than fastball at Chets at this point. And especially given how little we actually talk about it on that podcast. Like, even Jeff once was like, well, it's mostly just fastball at Chets. No, it's fucking not.
They're not listening to the podcast.
It's like if it comes up, it'll be for 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah, and it's a lot of times that ends up on the outtake show. And also, I think I made this point last time we recorded. I don't know if it made the show or not. There's actually far less engagement and support of fastball at Chets now because I'm not talking about it. I've done the campaign a disservice by trying to please a minority.
I don't know if people know how campaigns work, but they're a thing that has to happen over an extended period of time.
So
that's why it's called a goddamn campaign.
I am going, as I've said before, it's kind of an inverted bell curve. And right now is the calm before the storm. And it's going to pick back up whether people like it or not. And there's going to be a conclusion to it. And there's going to be some fun content that goes along with that.
All right.
It's weird when I turn and then see myself talking into the...
This next question is pretty... I don't get why me and you are at different heights. I got to fix that next time. It's not cool.
No, go ahead. Continue with the podcast.
Let's listen to... Oh, my God. This is pretty great. Here we go.
Hey, this question is for Chet. Chet, if you had to rate them, how would you rank all the different races?
First off, the transcription of this is very different than what he asked.
No, it's not. It says, hey, this question is for Check. See if you had to write them, how would you rank all the different races?
I guess right and rank is the same.
Well, Check. Name all the races and rank them accordingly.
Well, there's the 400 meter. There's the 800
Sure,
meter.
yeah.
There's the triathlon. There's
What about the
biathlon?
But like the 100, I think is where I think that's the money race right there, because that's what we all tune into for the Olympics.
I'm going for a 5K right now. I'm trying to run a 5K under 30 consistently.
I don't run that much.
You're too busy running this network.
Yeah, I got to start exercising more though.
You were a little bit, and then
No, I still have
Okay.
been. I actually ordered like a home gym type of thing.
Oh man,
That'll be here in a few weeks. that
I
can
once-
put in my bedroom.
spent $800 on a treadmill when I was really heavy, because like your standard treadmill, I was too fat
Yeah.
for that, and it was the most expensive coat rack I ever owned.
Really?
$800.
Yeah.
Fucking.
For me, I'm so fucking busy, and I live downtown, so if I go to a gym, I have to walk. There's one in my apartment, but it's shitty. So I just got a thing to put in my bedroom, and I'll be able to exercise there.
It is funny, outside of my gym, there's like 6 parking spots, and people will sit there in their car and wait 10, 15 minutes for somebody to take a spot instead of parking one lot over that's half a block away that always has parking. It's like,
Yeah.
how fucking lazy are you?
Yeah, why are
You're
you going to
the
the gym?
you piece of shit?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Nice tricolor.
But seriously, where do you rank?
No.
Where do you rank black people?
They're all the same, except for Trump supporters. They're
What do
a
you mean?
little lower.
What do you mean they?
All races are equal. God damn it.
This is so much fun. I think all the questions left now are actually for
Oh, that's a long.
Jeff or Raquel.
That one's for me.
Oh, is it? Let's see.
It starts with presumably Chet.
I thought it said this is Chad.
Oh, before it said,
Hi, Unpops friends.
Hi.
This is Chaz from Miami. I had a question for you. So I do. I'm getting a master's in creative writing.
close
so
to
I
my
write
masters.
professionally as like my day-to-day thing, and I was wondering if this is a phenomenon that shows up in other arts, because I don't know that many people in them. So I was wondering if you'd experienced it in comedy or something. But I run into a lot of people who seem to be more in love with the idea of being an artist than the actual like doing of the art itself.
So fucking true.
So what I mean by that is I get a lot of friends or colleagues that really fall into that vibe of they want to be like the starving artist. They have to be alcoholics, or they crazy overindulge in drugs. And like if anyone ever brings it up to them, they're just saying, no, this is my process. This is what I have to do. But I've seen their work, and a lot of them can do really well in any other circumstance. They just force themselves into this. Like it's a conception that this is what a writer has to be, right? So do you run into that with comedians where they have potential, or they could be good, or maybe not, but they constantly create these cycles of like self-destructive behaviors or whatever they think the stereotype of what a comedian should be to be successful is, and they're more in love with the idea of embodying that than actually doing the work. All right. Thanks so much. You guys are the best. You guys are great. I love all the shows. Have a good one. Thanks.
No, that's a whole fucking episode, Adam.
Yeah,
That's such
probably.
a loaded voicemail, and we won't be able to do it justice in the time allotted. But yes, to all of that.
Yeah.
All of that. And there are probably parts of us and every host on this network that's guilty of that
Right.
in some way, shape, or form. And I think that's part of the process. The pushback I would have to your statement earlier of like, everyone should start a blog and everyone should write jokes, is that too many people that just aren't talented or aren't putting in the work, but they would rather just say like, I have a website, I have a blog, and don't care about the substance of
Yeah.
it. Like it's more important to them to have a post every day than for it to be good. It's this juggling thing of like, you kind of just got to create a large amount of quantity and accept that it's going to be shit to get to the quality part. But at the same time, there are a lot of people that are more in love with the LA especially. How many people do you know that say they're fucking screenwriters or television writers? Or this happens all the time. People are like, oh, I want to write. I've even been guilty of this. I want to write for Saturday Night Live. I want to write for Conan. I want to write for Jimmy Kimmel, whatever it is. And then packets come up and they're like, oh, fuck, I gotta scramble. I gotta write the entire thing in 3 days. Well, if you really wanted to do this, you'd be writing monologue jokes every day. You'd be writing sketch ideas and desk bits all the time. And when those packets come up, you're just filling them in with content you already have.
Yeah, it's you see it. I mean, you see it all the time in comedy, and it's like with the drugs and alcohol, you don't see it so much on stage because I think most comics accept that if you're too fucked up on stage, you're going to be terrible.
Yeah, they know how to hide it.
You just see it in their everyday lives and how they interact with people and the opportunities they blow. Like there have been comics who have been on this podcast multiple times who are super successful, but would be so much more successful if they would just get out of their own way.
Sure.
And not be so self-destructive. But I don't know that it's necessarily a thing you can just turn off like that.
There is something about an addictive
also,
person.
don't bang the table because it shakes my camera.
There is something about addictive personality types that probably run prevalent in the arts. So the same things that draw you to comedy or being creative may also be the same forces that draw you
because
to other...
killing on stage is a rush. And that's...
Oh, yeah. That's one of the hard parts about having a day job. And
I mean, it wears off a little after you do it so many times.
It actually does, though. I know.
Yeah, it really does.
It does. And that's... Rich Scheidner talked about this once about, like... he's telling me why he had issues with drugs and shit back in the day. If you don't know, Rich is a prolific comic. Done the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson and shit other times. But he would do coke. Same reason like Elton John or these other guys do drugs. You get off the stage, you don't realize as a performer, or if you're not a performer, you have 200, 300, 400 people in the palm of your hands. 10 minutes later, that room is empty, and there's wait staff picking up chicken fingers off the floor, and like the owner's annoyed that you're still standing there waiting to get paid, and then you're just in a hotel by yourself. So it's not natural to go from having a room full of people love you to being completely by yourself. And there is a bunch of adrenaline, and then you're like, what do I do with this energy?
Right.
So you use substances to kind of keep that high going.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a lot of that on the Portugal to Man tour because I think I'm still kind of mentally recovering from that experience. It was a load of fucking fun, but it was also, I mean, it's really claustrophobic and at the same time kind of lonely. Like when you're traveling by yourself, like you said, you get in that, like for that 1 hour span, you're in front of all these people. And then maybe after the show, you go and hang out and talk to people a little. But beyond that, you're just alone. I mean, I traveled with Angie on a lot of the shows, which helped. But like that stretch where I was down through the South and going up the East Coast, I was lonesome as fuck. And you're right, it's just a weird thing to come off stage and have all those people looking at you and fucking adoring you. And then they see you after and they're like, bye.
And the inconsistencies of shows, like outside of being on tour.
Yeah.
I remember one time I opened for Louis Anderson at a casino. Somewhere between 1,500 and 2,000 people in the audience. My family was there. Biggest show I've ever done to date. Fucking awesome. Like, it's hard not to crush with an audience that large. Especially when you're doing 5-10 minutes up front. Walking through the casino after with my family, all these people like wanting to shake my hand and stuff. Cool. Cut to 2 nights later, my next show is in a bar in Buffalo, and there are 4 people there. And I am bombing with the same material. And it's just like, you went from feeling unstoppable to feeling like everything you're saying is complete shit, even though they're the exact same words.
Yeah. That also, well, not the exact same thing, but on that same Portugal to Man tour, we booked a show at the fucking New York Comedy Festival, which is huge for comics. Like if you're booked on the New York Comedy Festival, that's a big thing. And it was me and I think it was me and Jeff and Anna Dresden, who writes for SNL now, but she was an editor at Cracked for a little while. And we did this show in New York in the middle of the Portugal the Man tour. So I had just done like 8 or 9 shows in a row in front of like 1,500 to 2,000 people every night. And then we get to our New York Comedy Festival show, which is sold out, mind you, and there are 30 people there. And I was like, this is where I'm at.
Yep.
I am not Portugal the Man. I'm just on tour with them. This is what it looks like when I sell out a room. There's 30 people here.
You see that?
And some of them bought tickets today.
It's...
But it's what you have to do. Like, especially with comedy. Like, no one should ever go into comedy thinking they're going to make money. Like, you'll make money eventually, but for the most part, doing stand-up is just, I don't know. Like, I don't know how to even explain the appeal of it.
I've struggled to take
anymore.
my foot off the gas of it, and now I've taken my foot off the gas a little too much, but I'm getting back into it. But somebody explained it to me, a veteran in the industry, was like, the thing about, like, worrying about your day job or health or, like, you're not doing enough stand-up is stand-up will always be there.
Right.
Like, that's the great thing about it. And tied to, just not to harp on this too much, but tied to the drugs and alcohol, like, sometimes that's just people's shitty justification, too, for, like,
yeah.
I'm a comic, so I gotta be fucked up. I remember back when I was really fat, I had really long hair, and I was doing, like, Phil and Morning Radio at the time, and we had long conversations about, like, well, if I cut my hair, will that change me as a comic? And now, in hindsight, that seems dumb.
Right.
But at the time, like, I don't want to lose weight, because, like, then I'll have to... If I lose weight and cut my hair, then I have to get rid of this fucking line about looking like Hurley from Lost that always does well. And,
Yeah.
It's so dumb in hindsight, but you think, oh, I can't be funny without drugs, or I can't be funny without,
right.
antidepressants, or if I go on antidepressants or whatever, I'll be less funny. You can still be just as funny, if not funnier. It just takes more work. Like, sometimes when you're getting laughs, there are certain jokes that I used to do when I was fatter that I get laughs, and now, like, I get ahs. I realized, oh, people were literally laughing at me. I was getting laughs, but
yeah,
I was like a big fat clown character.
Right.
And now I'm more of a human. And again, this could be a whole podcast. I'll shut up. But
yeah, it's definitely a thing. All right, let's get to this. Might be the last voicemail. I don't know who this one's even for. Let's go.
Hey guys.
Hey,
Adam. Chet.
That's me.
That's Chet.
I'm assuming Rachel is there, and I'm assuming Jeff is not there.
Oh,
hold on. Pause. Who the fuck is Rachel? I thought it was just misspelling her name because
Rachel.
maybe there was some audio fidelity issues, but no, her name is Raquel, dude.
I need to date a Rachel now. I want a Jeff and Raquel and a Chet and Rachel.
Jesus. Okay, go on.
Because I guess Chet is substituting for Jeff. Great. Awesome.
Sarcasm.
Love the show. I loved all the podcasts. Can't tell you how many awful fucking 2-hour commutes that you guys have gotten me through. Anyway.
You're welcome.
Name's Nick from Virginia.
All right.
Sitting here getting drunk on my deck.
Oh, shit.
Hanging out with my dogs.
Oh, I think this is the guy live streaming.
So, I'd want to know, please, if you could tell my 2 dogs, Pirata and Luna, that they're good dogs.
They're good puppies. We're not going to say those names. I totally
Chet,
missed
this question
that,
is for you.
Oh, shit, there's more.
I know you were in Elkton
I was in Elkton,
a couple
Virginia.
weeks ago.
True.
Sorry I missed you. Sorry I couldn't hook up in Dulles.
Oh, yeah. I tried to get some people
And
together. It didn't work out.
have some coffee with you. That's okay.
He
I
went
want
to
know,
Fastball
though,
Chets
what
with
was
a...
your favorite part of hanging out down in Elkton, Shenandoah, Virginia? As you know, I lived in Virginia my whole life. Just want to know what was the best part that you and your buddies had hanging out down there. Anyway, thanks for the great shows. Loved every minute of them.
Did he say he was drunk? I don't buy that for a second.
Here's my question on your show. Thanks. Bye.
I believe, if I have this right in my head, this is the first guy that went to a Fastball concert with a giant Fastball at Chet's shirt that he just painted on. And then he was DMing me on Twitter a bunch of great stuff about Elkton, like knew a lot about the geology of the mountains and shit. My favorite part about Elkton, aside from seeing friends that I haven't seen in 8, 9, 10 years,
Yeah.
Elkton and Shenandoah specifically There was this small town deli that I went to that you wouldn't think the deli would be good. It was just a fucking incredible deli.
Oh, yeah?
And they're like, what side would you want? And I'm like, oh, there's so many to choose from. And they brought out all the sides, and they let me sample all 6 sides. That's super nice. I don't know, just that small-time charm. I really liked hiking the Shenandoah Mountains. My favorite thing was getting drunk and dragging a canoe through a cow pasture down to the Shenandoah River, and then just canoeing out in the river and laying on the river and looking at the stars. Because in LA, you don't really see the stars. There's too much light.
Too much light.
A lot of great things.
Interesting.
That's interesting to one person only, the color.
Let's answer our last voicemail. I think this was initially for the original team, but let's see.
For Adam, Rick, and Helen, according to the transcript?
Adam, Rick, and Helen.
Hey, Adam, Raquel, and Chets.
My
question is primarily directed at Raquel, but you guys can answer it as well.
People thought we were going to do it together.
Raquel, you mentioned in a previous episode that you consider yourself more of a homebody when describing your experience during the Unpops cookout. I feel that describes me to a T. I would rather spend most of my time at home rather than hanging out with a crowd of people, but I'll do it if I have to. I see a lot of my friends who are more social butterflies than me. They've achieved a lot of great things. They've done a lot of cool stuff with their careers, with their love lives, because they're more social, and I want to break into that bend, that level. And my question to you is, what are some things I can do to be more social, to be more, put myself out there? Thanks, guys. Love the show. Keep the good work.
When he's asking Raquel how to be more social when Raquel
do some drugs.
She doesn't.
Am I right? That'll do it. Do coke. Cocaine will make you more social.
Look at what your passions and hobbies are. I'm not going to support any of that. I'm not even going to acknowledge it. I
finish answering.
Whatever. I wish I knew what he was passionate about. Like, find groups of people that are like, if you loved playing dodgeball in middle school and high school, there's a shitload of fucking adult dodgeball leagues now that are really just an excuse to meet new people and get drunk.
Yeah.
So, did he say where he's from? What part of the country?
I
Maybe
don't
it's too
think
small
he
of a town.
did. This is a question we get a lot about how people should, like, what people should do to go out and make friends and things. And I don't know how many friends people think we have, but
yeah,
it's not a lot.
I isolate myself like a motherfucker to a fault. Like,
yeah, so do I, very much so.
But I don't want to hang out with a lot of people, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I'm selective in a lot of ways. I'm selective in my friend groups. I'm selective in who I let be on these fucking podcasts. I only want funny people.
Yeah, how the fuck did I get through all this?
Because you're super funny and I like you.
I just baited you into a compliment.
Good job, you did
Thank
it.
you.
I still don't get why you're a little taller than me on these.
I'm purposely putting my head down.
This isn't sitting well with me.
Look at my sweet Sesame Street shirt I'm wearing today.
That is a great Sesame Street shirt. That just made it worse.
How am I more so? I mean, in terms of dating, again, it depends on your city. Like LA, we're lucky with the dating apps. You were obsessed with that camera. Dating apps are certainly one way to meet people. Bumble has a feature called Bumble BFF where you can swipe for friendships instead of romantic potential.
Gay.
I don't know what.
Seemed like a good time to shout that out.
Volunteering is my friends that have a lot of different social circles tend to volunteer. Like my one friend's president of Food Not Bombs for his local chapter, which they go to grocery stores and pick up the food they're going to throw it out and give it to homeless people. Or anybody can take it. It's just typically homeless people. And he's met a lot of friends through that. And like at his wedding, half the guests were from that thing.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's always been work. Like, that's where I always meet people. And it's no different now. I'm like, most of my friends are comics.
I've always had super strong, not always, the last couple of years, had really strong boundaries where I don't want to be friends with anybody I work with. Because it's different for you in comedy. But outside of comedy, then people just want to talk work outside. Like, that's what you have in common? I don't want to fucking talk about work.
Yeah, that gets to be a whole thing. But, just get out. Fucking meet people. Do things. Set up a meetup group.
Easier said than done, but...
Yeah.
Just establish a seat at the end of the bar that's yours and always sit there until people...
Until you become a regular.
Dude, I'll tell you what. I've been reading that Subtle Art of How to Not Give a Fuck. And in the last week, I have struck up conversations with 3 different attractive women just by sitting at a coffee shop and having that book set out, not on purpose, just I was going to read it after I finished writing. And I've never had attractive girls come up to me outside of comedy, out of nowhere, and strike up conversations. And in all 3 of those conversations, I was the one, like, trying to get out of the conversation.
Yeah.
It's a bright-colored book, and they recognize it, and it strikes up a conversation. So maybe the Subtle Art, or some type of book.
I'm so bad with surprise conversations. There's some woman who, for some reason, like, hundreds and hundreds of people live in this apartment complex. And there's this one woman that I see all the fucking time when I'm coming in and out of the elevators. And the other day, I was going in and she was coming out, and she goes, like, she literally said, "Oh my God, I see you all the time and almost no one else." And I just went, "Yeah." And I got in the elevator and hit the button and fucking went. I didn't know what the fuck to say.
Yeah.
Like, oh, lucky you.
It wasn't that plastic surgery chick we ran across earlier, was it?
No.
Okay.
Well, you ran across her. I mean, I was there.
But I pointed out.
Yeah.
Somebody spends a lot of money when they're surgeon.
Which, how do you know? You never know. They could have been real. Why are you being that way, Chet?
No.
We don't even know that woman. She just walked past us.
I've just asked if
trying
that
to
was
leave
the one.
store. And now she's getting all the judgment from you.
I'm not judging her. I'm judging her plastic surgeon.
I just judged that she didn't have a dog. If any of my neighbors don't have a dog at the time we interact, what the fuck? We're
Are
not
cats
talking.
allowed in this building?
Yeah, they are. Good kitties. But no one walks a cat. You always see dogs out for walks. And those are the neighbors I know the best, the neighbors that have dogs, because then I always stop and give little ear rubs.
I finally watched Okja, and I want an Okja, like a small Okja.
That's such a good movie, right?
Man, that movie gets dark, though.
It sure does.
They should make a kids movie just based on the first third of that movie. Like, it's such a lovable character.
Yeah, that's a really good movie. All right, this was fun.
Is that it? We're not going to get to the Jeff and Raquel voicemails?
We did.
Oh,
I thought we had Jeff and Raquel voicemails, but they were all for you, Chet.
Let's take a quick look at the YouTube comments. See if there's anything we can add into the
Ian
live stream.
McClendon says, so that was a no on the live call-ins. Yeah, dude, we don't have the capacity to handle live phone calls, especially not on an hour suggestion in the morning.
That was another hate tweet I got from the same fucking individual. It's like, Chet suggested doing a call-in show. He doesn't even know there's a voicemail show. No, I know there's a voicemail show. I was suggesting doing a live call-in show.
Yeah.
It is different.
Yeah, we don't have a goddamn switchboard here. Maybe someday, but we are working on modest means. Yeah, the comments aren't. We didn't have a lot of comments. There's only 11 people watching.
Yeah,
but
11 people that shout out to all 11 people.
Yeah, thanks to those 11 people. All right, this was fun. We will be back next month. I don't know who will be hosting next month's voicemail.
What show will I be apprenticing
podcast
on next, Adam?
What
show am I apprenticing on next?
I don't know. We'll have to figure that out. Okay. But this show is going to be a monthly show now, and we'll switch up the hosts every time. I don't know who will be on the next one. We'll figure that out. But this was a lot of fun.
I nominate Caitlin.
Yeah, we got to get Caitlin on one before she...
get as much out of her before Mommy takes over.
Yeah, before she's on leave. So, yeah, maybe. We'll figure it out. Chet, do you have anything to plug before we get out of here?
Yeah, I got a bunch of shows next month.
All right, that's enough.
First Sunday at Flappers, and then I'm doing a drop-in on Jeff's comic book shop show next month.
Yeah.
And, just follow me on Twitter. I'll plug shit.
We have a new live show, bi-weekly stand-up live show at the Alex Theater in Glendale starting August 23rd.
Get your feet wet on the first one, then come back 2 weeks later and see me.
See Chet and Alex Schmidt.
so excited
Alex
to see him.
Schmidt on the
Schmitty.
second Unpopped show. But come to the first one, too. It's going to be Caitlin's last time doing stand-up before she goes on maternity leave. So if you want to see that, Jeff May will be there. Quincy Johnson will be there. Leah Kajanian, who's funny as fuck. Mo Mandel, who is one of my favorite fucking people on earth. It's going to be a fantastic show. Alex Theater, Glendale. Doors open at 7:30. Show starts at 8. It's going to be a damn good time. Come to that. And if you're listening to this, you already subscribe. Well, no, not necessarily. If you want to keep listening to this show, subscribe on Patreon, patreon.com/unpops.
Is this a free show?
I might put this last one up for free before it switches to monthly.
Do it.
And then from then on, you're going to have to subscribe if you want to hear us answer your voicemails.
I have voicemails on my phone we can go over.
505-386-7677. That's the number to call.
I have voicemails from my grandma for the last 10 years of my birthday I can play.
Let's not. We're closing in on an hour. You ready to get out of here, Chet?
I'm the Wicked Witch of the North.
My grandma just calls and sings me songs on my birthday. I got a decade's worth of these. That could be its own voicemail show.
Yeah, we should. We should just answer voicemails from your grandma on one of these. That'd be good times.
Go through my voicemail history.
All right. Let us get the fuck
Why? It's
out of
Sunday.
here.
You don't have any other shows to record.
What? Yes, I do. Jeff's coming home later, and we got to do the
What time is that?
like after 5. He's coming back from San Diego right now.
Raquel could have been here.
We've already been over this.
It's not a bashing of Raquel. It's I enthusiastically wanted her presence.
All right. Wave goodbye to the camera, chat.
I'm gonna wave hi. Oh, it's over here. Why'd you point?
No,
this
yours is
camera.
right
I
there,
know.
right above my
But I
forehead.
looked at the screen.
Bye, everybody.
Hey,
we love
let's
you.